What I love about the archery hunting antelope specifically, and not spot and stock, just building blinds, is I'll go out. If I had had a tag, I'd been out June and July looking for antelope, right? Finding my target buck, and then getting on Onyx, finding the closest 2 or 3 water holes, building blinds on those, or building decoys to scare them off of the other ones. And
now,
what's
wait
really
a minute.
fun.
I'm going to interrupt you on that. Building decoys to scare them off of the other ones. Would they not get used to anything you put?
Scarecrow. Take a pair of coveralls. So if I have a water hole that's I'm going to hunt that I build the blind on and they've shied away, and they go to another water hole that's less desirable, but they're still there. The day I'm going to hunt, I'll put up
the day that you hunt. You just won't leave it up. Yeah.
But I take a PVC pipe, duct tape it together in the shape of a cross, and put a pair of coveralls and a milk jug on top of it. In the dark, I'll go put that up, and then we'll go get another blind. And a lot of times we're talking 2 water holes that are 400 yards apart, right?
Right.
And so they're gonna have gotten habituated to. They were going to the primary. I built the blind. They started using a secondary, right? For 2 or 3 weeks, my blind's been sitting there. They're going the other one. I'll run over there, or you can park a pickup on that other one. Kind of forces them to go to the.
Well, anybody that's still listening to this podcast at this point, you should take a pen and paper and write that. That's a good little gem you just come up with there. I like that.
That's a good one.
It works really well, and what's really you'll see an increase of antelope on your blind that day. Now, obviously, you're going to move your pickup or take your scarecrow down, but it's cool to get to go pick your target buck, find the water hole, crawl in there, and usually in the headlight. But I take kids with cameras, and we sit there, and we'll sit till a lot of times what you'll see, especially August, because openers tomorrow, is the buck is going to come in with the does, and he'll be tending those does, but he's not going to water in the morning. And then he'll go bed those does somewhere close, maybe even 200-300 yards away. They'll come in from 600-700 yards, mill around, feed on their way in. All the does will drink. He'll usually stand about 100 yards off and defend the harem from other bucks. They'll take off. Sometimes they only go 400 or 500 yards, and they'll all bed down early afternoon. He'll come in solo, usually between noon and 2, and leave the does. And they're close enough that he can see and run over there. So you'll have to sometimes sit all day to get your target buck, but it is pretty awesome to go drive around, spot and scope all these bucks. Nobody else is out there, and you go, that's the buck I want to kill. And then it's a lot more work. And that's like what I said. You can make this as hard or as easy as you want. You can just wait till rifle season and drive around, and the first legal buck that runs in front of the truck, you can get out and shoot him. Or you can spot and stock archery. I haven't quite done that yet, just because I've been taking my oldest Hunter, and he's now 10. But I took Hunter and his younger brother when his brother was 1.5 years, and we got a buck, 5 and 1.5-year-old in the blind. And guys that say that archery is not lethal, at GoPro footage of one of the bucks that we looked at earlier, he lived 9 seconds. It was an 18-yard frontal shot. Arrow, broadhead, skewered him and went all the way to the hind quarter, right? So he had that much fletching, about 3-4 inches of fletching sticking out. He lived to 9 seconds from when the arrow hit him to when he tipped over. I mean, and he turned around and looked back at the water like, what just happened? And done.
Down he went.
So I like to go out there when there's nobody else out there and take my pick of the bucks. But to the same point, my dad killed a 85-inch goat last year, 2 or 3 days before the end of season. With it, it wasn't no special hiking. It wasn't no private land. It was just public land on the side of the road. And what had happened is somebody had harvested a buck earlier in the season off of those does.
Right.
And a buck from deeper out came in and was tending those does,
like
and it was a lot
earlier.
bigger buck.
Yep.